Most people think emotional numbness means something is wrong with them, that they are cold, detached, broken in some invisible way. But emotional numbness is not the absence of emotion. It is the mind's way of protecting something fragile. It often appears quietly. You still function, you still talk, you still show up, but inside emotions feel distant, muted, delayed, or unreachable. Psychologically, numbness forms when the nervous system has learned that feeling deeply leads to pain without relief. So instead of continuing to feel and suffer, the mind adapts by lowering emotional intensity, not to punish you, but to preserve you. Many people experiencing emotional numbness were once highly sensitive. They noticed shifts in tone. They felt rejection deeply. They cared intensely. Over time, repeated emotional strain, neglect, dismissal, unresolved grief, chronic stress taught their system that emotions are unsafe to express or even feel. So the brain chose distance. And here's the reframe most people never hear. You are not unlovable. You are emotionally hidden. At around this point, something usually clicks, because emotionally numb people often believe they lack something essential: warmth, depth, the ability to connect. But psychologically, what's actually happening is that their emotional world has gone underground, protected, shielded, waiting. Numbness is not emptiness, it is containment. This is why people who feel emotionally numb often appear calm, composed, or strong. But inside, there's a quiet exhaustion from holding everything in. And this leads to one of the most confusing experiences of emotional numbness: the paradox. Many emotionally numb people crave closeness. They want connection. They want to be understood, but at the same time, they unconsciously signal distance. They reply late. They avoid vulnerability. They downplay their needs. They seem emotionally unavailable. This isn't manipulation, it's conditioning. Psychologically, their nervous system learned that closeness equals risk. So even when the desire for connection exists, the body responds with withdrawal. The result is a painful internal conflict. I want to be close, but I don't feel safe letting anyone close. This paradox keeps people stuck. They feel lonely, yet overwhelmed by intimacy. They feel unseen, yet uncomfortable being fully known. And because this pattern is unconscious, many blame themselves for it. They think they are bad at relationships or incapable of love. In reality, their system is doing exactly what it learned to do: maintain safety. Emotional numbness is also reinforced by chronic stress. When the body stays in survival mode for too long, it eventually shuts down emotional responsiveness to conserve energy. This is not depression in the traditional sense. It's emotional fatigue. The system isn't sad, it's tired. And now, something important. Healing from emotional numbness does not begin by forcing yourself to feel more. That usually backfires. Healing begins with safety. The emotional system does not respond to pressure. It responds to permission. Permission to slow down. Permission to rest emotionally. Permission to acknowledge that numbness had a reason. When people stop judging their numbness and start understanding it, something shifts. The nervous system relaxes. Defenses soften. Feelings don't rush back dramatically. They return subtly. A small reaction, a quiet preference, a moment of warmth that lingers a second longer than before. That is progress. Emotional numbness is not a permanent state. It is a pause taken by a system that needed relief. And when safety becomes consistent internally or externally, the pause ends naturally, not all at once, but gently. And that gentleness is how feeling finds its way back.